everyone, my name is Vinesh and welcome to this video. If you're new to this channel, I have been in a reading slump and this is like 4 days after my reading slump has been over. I made a vlog that finished yesterday. This is the next day. I actually decided to film in the day and talk to you guys in the day, but then I was fasting and I knew that if I would talk a lot then I would feel like wanting water, and so I decided to just not get off my bed, keep laying down and try to sleep. And I have no idea why I was not able to sleep. I was having a headache, but all good now. I was able to sleep somehow. I slept, I woke up fresh, I ate, I'm all good, and I'm ready to film. Oh, and before we get into this video, I wanted to do a little makeup to not look like I'm looking right now, so I'll be back. Okay, so let's just get into the video. Thanks for sticking around for this long. So I came out of my reading slump 3 days ago or 4 days ago. I don't know when it was, but why was I in a reading slump? It was because of this book, Fix Her Up. That book made me sick, and that book made me hate that book, and that book was the reason of my reading slump. The thing is that I was avoiding it. I was avoiding talking about it. I did not write a review on Fix Her Up for so long, and I was getting tired of my reading slump. I was I want to read a book. I want to just get into it. And I agree, it was not just the book. There was things going on in my life because of which I was not getting into a reading mode. But whenever I did get into the reading mode, it was the book Fix Her Up that did not let me get into another one. And so I decided to finally write a review on it. I did not go into a lot of detail. I just wrote what I was angry about and just went at it. Right after writing my review, wow, I felt like reading, and so I picked a lot of shadows. You see, I've read this much. I have this much left, and so I'm still glad I've read this much. Guess how much I read when I was out of my reading slump? I read about 98 pages. Yes, I wanted to make it a total 100, but things don't always happen the way I want them to be. And I read it. Right after that, I think the next day, I don't know which day it is anymore because I'm sleeping in the day mostly. I sleep around 8 or 10 or 12. I don't know. I'm sleeping in the day these days. I'm up all night to stay up, do my sehri because I'm fasting, and that's it. So I started the Song of Achilles with my friends Lila and Alyssa, and I could not stop reading it. And ever since I started that book, I did not read Lord of Shadows again because that book was so good. I did not want to leave it. I finished it in 2 days. I read about 15 chapters in one day and the rest of the book the other day. I'm so in love with the Song of Achilles, and I am so in love with the characters, so in love with the writing. Everything was so good. And I had actually not planned on making a reading vlog on it because I was so not in a reading mode, and I was let me just read for myself and enjoy it. And when I started reading it, I felt things that I wanted to share, and so I started making a reading vlog. I actually decided to do quite a bit of things in this video, but then I thought this video is going to get a little longer, so I think I'll film that video some other time, or I'll film it right after this one and you'll be seeing me in the same clothes. So I think it's okay. Most booktubers, or do booktubers do that? Film 2 videos in a day? Don't know. Guess I'll do that. If you want to get out of a reading slump and you have no idea why, if you know that there was this one book that you read the last time and ever since you read it you've not been able to get into another book, you listen to me. You talk about that book. You rant about it wherever you can, with whomever you can. I'm telling you, if you do not get out of the reading slump, you will at least feel better enough to like wanting to pull yourself out of it and like push yourself to read, and I think that will happen. That's what I think. Anyways, let's get back to the topic. As I said, I read the Song of Achilles for 2 days, and that means that I have not picked this book, Lord of Shadows, for 2 days, and I'm gonna like read it, make some time off for this one after this one, like the video, and yeah, I'll just share my reading vlog with you guys. So watch it, and if you have not read the book, just like skip it. I have divided the video in chapters, so like you can skip to the end of the video if you don't want to watch the reading vlog, and if you have read it and want to like see my reactions, then just watch it. I have not like shared a lot of reactions or a lot of thoughts. I'm mostly just talking about things that made me feel something, and I'm not talking much even then because I was so invested in reading. But there are some things that I want to talk about now that I have finished the book and now that I've like put myself together. So yeah, I'll like continue this video after the vlog. Hello everyone, so I am actually out of my reading slump, and I finally decided to like read a standalone book before Chain of Iron, and I just started The Song of Achilles with 2 of my friends. I've only read like 4 chapters. I just started the 5th one, and the tone is so beautiful. I'm loving it. The moments between Achilles and Patroclus are just so special, and I really like the way they both talk. I mean, I think the boys are going to have a really good relationship between them, and the way it's written, the writing, everything, it's so good. And then I was talking to my friend, and she was like, do you remember how in Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy 2 characters met? And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I thought. And it's just so amazing. I really like friendships. I root hard for them. I do love friends to lovers kind of trope, but I just really appreciate and like crave strong platonic relationships in books, and I think that these boys are going to have a really crazy friendship. I am so excited to read it. It's the thing is that this book has this cool vibe. I feel so calm while reading it. Like I just want to read more. There was also this moment when Achilles was going to like train, and Patroclus asked him where he was going, and he was saying that no one sees me fight. And Patroclus was like, why? And he said, because of the prophecy. And I actually watched the movie Troy last year, and ever since I watched it, I've been so interested in like reading more about Achilles, because I really liked Brad Pitt's character playing Achilles, and when I'm reading this, I mean, the face that I am imagining, it's a beautiful boy's face. I'm just so excited to read more and see what happens next. The prophecy, the Greek setting, their friendship, everything. Actually, when I started reading, I did not think to like make a reading vlog on this. I was just gonna read and like chill, but the more I read, the more I felt like I'm enjoying it so much, and like I really want to share this feeling. And so here I am vlogging, and I haven't even made an intro on it. I'll definitely do it once I've finished. Let's see what happens. I'm actually reading it online. I don't have the physical copy. I can only share my thoughts once I've read something, like not while I'm reading it. Is this like a thing with me, or do you guys also like melt when you read lines like this about a character? Patroclus was talking about Achilles in the words that he said what he meant, and he was puzzled if you did not. How beautiful is that? And then the next lines were something like, some people would like mistake it for simplicity, but it was not. It was something else. I forgot the line. But so I just read the line, and the next line was, is it not a sort of genius to cut always to the heart? And I'm like, not only is it genius, it's pure. When I read it, I felt so good. I think I'm just overly excited about this, but I'm really feeling good. I'm so happy. Not really much has happened. All that I can really talk about is the relationship development and how both the boys are going together with one another, how much they trust each other, how much they love each other, like everything. That was all that has been happening till 10 chapters, and I did not really talk about it for two reasons. One, that it was just their relationship development. What more could I talk about it? And second reason is that it was written so well. I was enjoying it so much that I did not want to stop just to talk about it. The best part about them is that they never get jealous of one another. Like Achilles has nothing to be jealous of from Patroclus, but Patroclus never gets jealous from Achilles regarding anything, and that is so precious. The relationship, whatever they have between them, that friendship, that love, it's so special. And yeah, there's this one scene that I wanted to talk about. Achilles' mother, the goddess, came, like she comes to visit him in the mountain, and after she went, Achilles told Patroclus that his mother cannot see them in that cave. And after that, there was that silence, awkward silence between them. Like they did not know what it meant. Achilles did not know why he wanted to tell it to like Patroclus, but he thought that Patroclus would like to know, and so he told him. And all Patroclus remembered was that when he kissed Achilles, he ran away, and he did not want to do anything again that would make Achilles run away from him. So, like, he too was in an awkward silence, and then they finally did that thing and realized that they were happy about it, that they wanted it, that none of them would step back from it. And then in the end of chapter 10, what happens is that Achilles' dad, the king, summons him, and then they both leave. I have no idea what's to come ahead. I had to take a break also for like eating to fast the next day as it's Ramadan going on. So I've taken a break and I'm talking to you about it. Okay, so this is the next day. I read till chapter 15 yesterday and I'm gonna read ahead now. I did not update yesterday because right after I did my seri to like fast, I read and I slept. Now when I woke up, I just wanted to share some things. So what happened was that when they returned to the palace, the king announced several things, and like he told how there's a war to be against Troy because the prince of that kingdom, that palace, Prince Paris, stole Helen, who is the queen, the wife of the king of Mycenae. I don't know how to say it. There's going to be a war, and in private, he asks his son to like lead the army. And Achilles does not say anything at that time, I think. There were names announced of all the men who swore an oath to protect Helen when they were available as suitors. Patroclus' name was in it. Later, when he goes to his room and with Patroclus, Achilles was like, if you go, I will go with you. And the next day, when Patroclus wakes up, there is no Achilles. After some time, Patroclus gets to know where Achilles actually is, and he goes to that place. He takes gold from someone. I guess it was the king. I've already forgotten because there are so many names, I keep forgetting who was who. Like when I read, I remember who it was because the names are easier to remember when I read them, but like in my head, it's all a mess. Well, anyways, he goes to that place where Achilles is, and when he sees Achilles, the princess over there tells them that Achilles married her and that she is pregnant. And when Patroclus hears that, he like leaves Achilles' hand and runs away from there. Achilles follows him, explains to him why he had sex with that girl, that his mother promised him that she would tell Patroclus where Achilles was if only he had sex with that girl. So he had it. And Patroclus was so mad, so crazy that how can Achilles be so trusting? And then he told Achilles that his mother did not tell him where he was and that he did it for nothing. What happens is Achilles tells him everything, and then later what happens is when Achilles is not around, the princess orders her guards to like get Patroclus from his room, and she calls him into her room, and when he goes there, she like when's all about what happened to him, and she's like crazy angry, and then she breaks. I don't know if it was pretending or what, but she hugs him, and later Patroclus gets to know what the princess is actually doing, and he's like, you don't want to do that. And she's like, it's okay. He says your gods are outside, and she's like, it's okay, they won't come inside. And he's like, Achilles would be looking for me, and she's like, he would not be looking for you in here. And anyways, Patroclus has sex with that girl, and he does not tell Achilles about it. Why doesn't he? I was like, please, please, please tell him. And he did not. I just remembered that I did not share the part where Achilles was pretending to be a girl. It was just so funny. I don't know what you guys felt, but it felt first weird to me. Like, how can he pretend to be a girl and wear a dress like that? And he was not even ashamed. He did not feel awkward. He did not feel anything. It was just like, yeah, I was deceiving the king, so I had to like do it because my mother asked me to. But now Patroclus is here, and I just want to leave. Like, okay, boy. Anyways, then Osidius and Diomedes, the two men that Patroclus recognized, those men were looking for Achilles, and they recognized Achilles, and then they told Achilles and Patroclus in private that there was the prophecy that if Achilles would go to war, then he would have like fame, and he would be like remembered as a legend. But if he did not go, then he would be idle, wasted, his skills gone, his abilities to no use. And when he died, people would ask who, just like the princess's father over there. And it was a horror for Achilles because he did not want to die like that. He wanted to be known for who he was. And there was also this line Patroclus says, who was he if not destined for fame? Oh my god. Then Thetis came, his mother, and Achilles asked her if the men were telling him the truth, and she says, it is the truth, but only half the truth. The rest of the truth is that if you go to war, you will die a young man, and you will not return. Well, oh my god. I don't actually like Achilles' mom, but what I did like was that when he asked her, what should I do? She was like, do not ask me to choose. She gave him the freedom to choose, at least for the first time, I think. And I was so happy about it. When they were traveling with Osidius and Diomedes, like when they left that palace of the princess, Achilles told Patroclus that he would fight in the war, that he would like lead the army and fight against Troy. And Patroclus wanted to stop him, but he couldn't because he loves him. Oh, I also remember that Patroclus went calling Thetis's name. Oh, her name is so weird. Anyways, he went to call her and he was like, just tell me how much time we have. And Thetis tells him that there's this guy, Hector, who is like a really good soldier or something like that. Like, he's the best, and the only man who can defeat him, who can kill him, is Achilles. And she also tells Patroclus that Achilles will die after Hector does. So Patroclus keeps that in his mind, and then he says thanks, and Thetis is like, don't thank me, I did not come here just for that. I came here to tell you not to dishonor my son. And well, Patroclus went back and he told Achilles that he should not kill Hector, and Achilles was like, my mom told you the rest of the prophecy. And he's like, yes, he will die first, so let's just not kill him. And Achilles was like, yes, the man never did anything to me, why should I kill him? Later, they had a conversation with Osidius or Diomedes, I don't know who, one of them. So they were talking about how they knew, or at least thought of Achilles and Patroclus as lovers, and Patroclus remembered his mother. Achilles' mother asked him not to dishonor his son, and so he told Achilles he would still be with him, but he would not make it so obvious. And when Achilles said, no, I have given enough to them, I will not give them this, I loved when Achilles said that. Like, he was not letting anything part them. But then things happen, and like, you cannot always fight them. What happens is when he's required to like plan and decide how much food they need and know the men he's going to fight with, all his time is like gone, and Patroclus was thinking he does not belong to me alone anymore. And I was like, I felt so sad for him. I actually just finished chapter 18, and what happened was that the king of Mycenae or something like that promised his daughter to Achilles, and on the day that they were to get married, he killed his daughter, saying the gods are now appeased. And it happened. The wind came back because like there was no wind for a month or more, and Thetis had told Achilles that it was the gods, they were furious, and just to appease the gods, he killed his daughter. He tricked Achilles, like he lied about the marriage and stuff. Why? Because his daughter was a priestess or something, and like they would not let her come if it was not for the marriage, so he lied and stuff. Achilles did not really think much about it. He was just in grief, like he could save the girl and like prevent it from happening. But Patroclus was angry because Achilles was dishonored and he was not even realizing it. Ausidius told Patroclus to like tell himself and Achilles to just leave his soft heart behind because he is going to Troy to kill people, not rescue them. And it was like such a harsh truth, but then it is the truth. The war is about to come. I have no idea what will happen because things are not happening the same way that they were happening in the movie Troy, or at least not exactly the way they happened in the movie Troy. Let's just see. I'm gonna read now. I'm actually reading so much. I can't believe it. I'm so happy. So once again, Achilles went to meet his mother, and this time he went for quite a long time. And like Patroclus was thinking, what might he be talking to his mother for this long? Like, what would she have to talk about? And when he came, Patroclus asked him what your mother was saying, and they had this conversation about gods being like fighting with each other and taking sides. And Achilles says that he thinks that his mother is worried that someone else will kill Hector before him. And I'm thinking, what does that mean? And then he even tells Patroclus that he has dreams where he is killing Hector and that he does not mind death after it, that he instead feels relief. And what I remember from the movie is that Patroclus died and Achilles felt very good when he killed Hector for killing Patroclus, and I think it's the same thing. But the way it's written, the writing is so strong, so well done. Like, this story has made me want to cry so many times for both of these boys. Oh, and while reading this part where Achilles says that he saw himself feeling relief in the dream after killing Hector, I was remembering how when he and Patroclus were in the cave, Achilles had asked him, name one hero who was happy, and Patroclus was thinking of all the heroes who were happy, and he could not come up with an answer. And right when he was thinking, Achilles interrupted him and told him, you can't. They'll never let you be famous and happy. And then he tells, let me tell you a secret. I'm going to be the first. And now when I'm remembering it, I'm like, is he really going to be famous and happy? Let's see, let's find out. So some plague started just now. Oh my god, I have no idea what to say. I am having so much anxiety that I literally stopped just to like have some time for myself to like process what just happened. Achilles gathered all the people, all the soldiers, and he was talking about how it was wrong that the king Agamemnon, like he had that priestess and he was using her, and he was like, just return that girl because the gods are angry with you. And Agamemnon just does not agree with it. He's like, no, I will not. In fact, I will take Achilles' prize girl as well. Something happened. I cannot like get into much detail because it will take a lot of time, but after that, whatever Achilles had planned, Patroclus went to the king, swore an oath, and told him what Achilles had planned. And then, after telling him, he like assured the safety of that girl who was Achilles' prize. And then he came back to the tent, and Achilles was waiting for him outside of it. And Achilles saw that he was bleeding Patroclus. Like, both the guys talked. Patroclus told Achilles what he did, and Achilles was like angry that Patroclus chose the girl over him. And then Patroclus told him that he would stand with Achilles, that he would help him. He swore it, but he said that this is not the right way, that we can do it in other ways. And then Achilles says that you are a better man than I, and Patroclus says that is not true. you were not yourself and now you have returned, something along those lines. And then Achilles says, do not say that until you have heard the rest of what I have done. And that was the last line of the chapter, and I'm like, what has Achilles done? What can he be doing? And honestly, I think it's his mother's influence on him. She is teaching him all of this. Because he goes, meets her, talks to his mother for such long times, and when he comes back, all he tells Patroclus is like a few lines about what happened. And I doubt it. I'm like, his mother is definitely influencing him in a very cold, godly manner. I have no idea what to do. I cannot stop reading. And you know what just happened? The Trojans, the people of Troy, they have come along with Hector, all the soldiers. They have broken the wall, they are in the tents, and they are, burning the ships. And Achilles is still not ready to fight. He's like, I will not until Agamemnon begs for forgiveness because he dishonored me, and I will not fight. I will not fight. Like, he does not even listen. And Patroclus even begged him that for me, if you love me, and he did not. And then Patroclus says, then send me instead of you. I remember from the movie Troy that he is going to die. Hector is going to kill him. Achilles tells him that you will not fight anyone. You will stay close to that guy who is... And then he says that just don't fight, stay back, and promise me you will not fight. And Patroclus says that yes, I will not fight. All I want to do is to frighten them. They know you, they will see you, and they will get frightened, they will run away. I won't have to fight. And I know Patroclus is going to die. Oh my god, I am so not ready. And then Achilles is going to kill Hector. So Patroclus died, and that girl, her name is Briseis or Briseis or something like that, she told Achilles, I hope Hector kills you. And he's like, do you think I do not hope the same? I so wish that Patroclus had not gone. And he was right. He died for his reputation. I don't get it. Like, what did Achilles get from this? Just his reputation? And now when Patroclus is gone, he's even angry with his mother, like he never before was. I'm so sad. I just really wish that Achilles listened to Patroclus, and I really wish that he never listened to his mother so much. What's gonna happen now? Now he's going to kill Hector and just wait for the moment that he dies, because he's not gonna live long anyway. Like, what was he fighting for with Patroclus? For his reputation? Where did all that go? It's gone, isn't it? Like, he's going to just kill Hector, and that's gonna be it. Patroclus is not going to come back. And honestly, the main thing that I want to say is, in the movie, I did not feel like this. I did not feel this emotional over Patroclus. Like, when he died, I was shocked, but I did not feel much of anything. But while reading this book, I literally cried. Achilles was not burning Patroclus' body. He was not burying him or anything. And then when he finally did, when that Trojan king came, Priam, he came for his son's body, and when he talked a few words, Achilles was like ready for it. And when he finally burned Patroclus' body and collected the ashes himself, he looked at the watching Greeks and said, when I die, or when I am dead, I charge you to mingle our ashes and bury us together. That line, that almost made me want to cry again. But what is the point now? Now he's dead. You could have listened to him before. But still, this burying our ashes together, this reminded me of Parvati from the Shadowhunters. Whither thou goest, I will go, and there will I be buried. I am so sad and heartbroken. It feels so real, this loss, and I'm gonna cry again. So I still have not gathered myself. Like I said I did, I have not. If I start reading the lines, the quotes from the book, I will start crying again, because last night I was like checking for the fan art after reading this book. I saw the fan art and I started crying so much. Okay, first of all, when I read this book, you know by now, I am crazy for friendships. I love friendships. And I love the love between friends. Okay? Like the lover's love, that's there. But the love of friends, it's precious. It's just everything that I want. When I read this book, I was remembering some friendships, no spoilers, but like Will and Jem and James and Matthew from the Shadowhunters. But guess what, most of all? Rumi and Shams. Their friendship was so beautiful, so strong, and like that bond they shared, it was just as precious to me when I read the 40 Rules of Love as was Patroclus and Achilles' bond when I read the Song of Achilles. Beautiful, overwhelming, heartwarming, everything. You know the time when Achilles talked to his mother and he asked her to protect Patroclus and she said no, and he was telling Patroclus what she said and Patroclus said, as for the goddess's answer, or something like, I did not care because I did not plan to live after he died. It was breaking me inside, like he does not want to live after that. So I'm now going to read like a few quotes that I absolutely love. There are actually a lot. When I was reading, I was so invested in it that I, for the first time in a long time, forgot to like mark the lines that I loved. Because I usually, like, when I'm reading a PDF, I take a screenshot and I later write them in my journal. And if I am reading a book, I just, put a tab on it. Like, I do something to mark the line that I love. And this time I forgot it. So I had to go back in the book and, like, search the keywords in the PDF so that I could quote the line exactly as it was. The first line that Patroclus says is, "He is half of my soul," as the poets say. When he said this, I was in love with him. I mean, I was in love with him from the start of his friendship with Achilles, but I loved him more and more after every scene that I got of him. Okay, I'm going to cry again. It's okay. I love him so much. He was the best friend that Achilles could ever have. He was an anchor for Achilles. He was a friend, a lover, a teacher. He was everything, and he was the light to Achilles' darkness. And what was Achilles' darkness? His God side, or the side that his mother influenced in him? I am so glad that Achilles had Patroclus. Without him, he would have been lost way earlier in his life. Okay, I am definitely going to cry because this quote, when Achilles killed Hector and dragged his body and took it with him, and the king Priam came to Achilles in the dead of the night just to ask him for his son's body, and Priam saw Patroclus' body and he was like, "That is your friend." Achilles says, "Philtatos? Philtatos?" He says sharply, "Most beloved, best of men, and slaughtered by your son." He really was the best of men. I wish Achilles put aside his pride and would not have let Patroclus go. I'm still so sad. I'm actually so happy I did not do my makeup because this would have ruined it. The next line is, Achilles says to the people, "I wish he had let you all die." And when he says this, what I was taught was if only he didn't have to and you saved them all instead. But the very next moment I was thinking, yes, Achilles was wrong. Yes, he went way ahead. He crossed the line just for, his honor and immortal reputation and the prophecy and stuff like that. But it was not his responsibility to save the people. The people should have been grateful to him. He was fighting for them of his own free will. As he said again and again, he fought for 9 years. It's not nothing. 9 years is a lot. He fought for them. They were not grateful. And even though Achilles was wrong, I know he was wrong. I was so mad at him when he was like taking that decision of not fighting for his honor and stuff like that. But I still feel a lot for him. It was wrong. The wrong done to him. And you know what's beautiful? That after everything, after all the, politics and stuff from his mother and the kings, everything that was polluting Achilles and like changing him, after all of that, Patroclus still remembered all the good things about him. Okay, I'm okay. I took a break to like clear away my tears, and so the next moment that I wanted to share was when in the end Patroclus and Achilles were buried together, but on the grave it was only Achilles' name and not Patroclus's, and Thetis used to come and visit Achilles' grave, and Patroclus used to talk to her, and he told her how and what she has done. Like, people only remember Achilles for killing Hector and killing this person or that person. They don't remember the good things about him. And she's like, do you have nothing better or something like that? And he's like, I am made of memories. I loved it. And then he started telling every good thing about Achilles from the day they met. It was so beautiful. And in the end, Thetis wrote Patroclus' name as well. I loved it. But I still don't like that woman. She took so much from them. If only she never hated Patroclus this much, I think many things would have been better, because Achilles was most influenced by his mother, in my opinion. And if only his mother had taught him different things, things would have been different. Anyways, let's just get to the good part. The good part is the end. I love the end. It's heartbreaking and beautiful. It's everything I've wanted in a long time. I have not read something so beautiful, other than in Shadowhunters, The Infernal Devices, and, like, I read Shadow and Bone. There was nothing in the trilogy like this. And then I read Fix Her Up. Oh, I hate it. And yeah, I've been reading a few good books that I have been loving a lot, including my reread of Chain of Gold, which again is Shadowhunters. But this was precious. I loved it so much. You know the last line? A few of the last lines? Wait, I'll tell you. Yeah. When he is telling of all the memories, before Thetis writes Patroclus' name, Patroclus says, we are all there, goddess and mortal and the boy who was both. That's beautiful. Okay, so lastly, before I end this video, I just wanted to share a few fan art and the quotes that come along with them. I will definitely mention the artists they are by and mention the links to their account and this art in the description bar below, so check it out if you would like to. I absolutely loved the scene when that snake came and Achilles caught it and he said, Hydros, water snake. And Patroclus said, I did not even see it. And Achilles said, you did not have to. I saw it. When I read this, I took a minute to just be happy about this dialogue because it was so beautiful. You did not have to. I saw it. They were both always there for one another. Patroclus helped Achilles in so many ways that cannot be like explained in words. At least I cannot explain it in words. And Achilles too helped and loved Patroclus in a way that cannot be explained. Like, it's so beautiful. Oh, and that scene when Achilles had to like leave for the mountain to train or something, and Patroclus followed him, and when Achilles saw him, he said Patroclus. Patroclus. No one pronounced his name like that, and Patroclus knew it was Achilles, and Achilles said, I hoped that you would come. The faith they have in one another, how much they trust each other, it's just beautiful. When Patroclus died, he seizes his hair in his hands and yanks it from his head. Golden strands fall onto the bloody corpse. Patroclus, he says. Patroclus. Patroclus. He was holding Patroclus's body and just saying his name. And this fan art is so beautiful. I love it. I love this book with all my heart. I'm so happy to have read a book like this. I'm so happy. I really, really needed a book this good in my life. And oh, there is this fan art, which, I mean, these are the dialogues from Achilles' point of view, but these dialogues were not in the book. Achilles says, how many days have passed since I was sentenced to live in a world without you? How many heroes I have slain, hoping they would be the one to deal the finishing blow. I traded love for glory, and it costed me his life. So please, to any god listening, end my suffering. And then Apollo guides Paris to like shoot the arrow to Achilles, and Achilles says, let me follow him. Let me choose love, and the bow hits him. And at last, we can have our happy ending. He meets Patroclus' soul. When Thetis says, go, she says, he waits for you. When she wrote his name, finally, after listening to all the memories that Patroclus was talking about, she wrote his name and said, go, he waits for you. In the darkness, two shadows reaching through the hopeless, heavy dusk. Their hands meet and light spills in a flood, like 100 golden urns pouring out of the sun. They met. I am so happy that they got to be happy, at least in the afterlife, or whatever it is. I'm just really happy for them, and I think that I really need to read more of Greek mythology and stories like this, because I loved it so much. So much. Anyways, this was my video on how I got out of my reading slump. Me reading the Song of Achilles and crying over it like crazy. I don't know when was the last time that I cried this much. I think it was It Ends With Us. I usually cry in Shadowhunter books, but I never cried this much. I cried in Chain of Gold, but not this much. 5 out of 5 stars. Best book this month. I'm so happy. Oh, and I don't know if I usually say this or not, but people tend to ask about social media accounts, so I always link my social media accounts in the description bar below. So if you want to follow me anywhere, you can just check out the links in the description bar. That was it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was fun seeing me cry, but that's it. I will see you in my next video. I cannot say what that video is going to be about because I am unpredictable, even to myself. I can never know what I want to do next. So, goodbye and take care.